Back to the Future's enduring popularity makes it ripe for a reboot, but there are two reasons it will probably never happen. The iconic movie stars Michael J. Fox as a teenager who accidentally stops his parents from meeting when he travels to 1955 using the eccentric Doc Brown, Christopher Lloyd's homemade time machine, and must get his parents together to preserve his existence. Studios had a ridiculous response to Back to the Future, rejecting it over 40 times before it was greenlit, but the film was a box office hit that led to 2 sequels and became a classic that still finds new audiences to this day. Despite the impact Back to the Future had not only on its genre but pop culture in general, Back to the Future 4 never happened, which is good. The Back to the Future trilogy tells a complete story that does not ask for a sequel, and any attempts to reboot the series would most likely fail in capturing the magic and impact of the previous movies. Still, given the current landscape of countless reboots and remakes, it can be surprising that a new Back to the Future film hasn't happened. Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale will never approve a Back to the Future reboot. They have the final say per their original contracts. Original writers Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale have been emphatic in their refusal to participate in a reboot or grant permission for someone else to take over the franchise. Although a 2018 poll, via THR, listed Back to the Future as one of the film's audiences would most like to see rebooted, Bob Gale had a brutal response regarding Back to the Future 4, commenting that, "You don't sell your kids into prostitution." Gale also stated that he and Zemeckis felt the saga was over after the third film. Another likely reason why Gale and Zemeckis refused to grant permission for Back to the Future 4 is out of respect for Michael J. Fox. Fox, who became a household name partially because of his starring role in Back to the Future, has had to retire because of advanced Parkinson's disease. He would most likely not be able to participate in a reboot because of his health, and it would be difficult to imagine a Back to the Future without Marty McFly. The only other option would be a complete reboot, in which Gale and Zemeckis don't seem to be interested either. A Back to the Future reboot will only happen after tragic circumstances. It may be possible to get around the creators' wishes after their deaths. Christopher Lloyd's Doc Brown points at the camera as Michael J. Fox's Marty looks on in the background in Back to the Future. One grim reality around a Back to the Future remake is that it may be possible to get around the original writers' wishes for the franchise after their deaths. At that point, the rights will be transferred to designated heirs, and if those people grant permission, the film can be made. Both writers would have to die before a third party could negotiate a deal for a reboot, a scenario that Zemeckis himself has acknowledged when discussing whether a new Back to the Future movie will ever happen.